the Lord told me to go to Trinidad, take my whole drop zone, to trust Him that He would provide a plane for me, and I would be skydiving into the desert somewhere. I didn't
on July
even know where I was
8th at
skydiving
8:48 a.m.
until He walked me down the canyon and said, right here. And those of y'all that are watching, I put out my blue tarp there. He told me exactly where to put it down. And oddly enough, as I left that place to go jump, and I went to go catch my flight an hour away, when I left, a raging flash flood in the desert came through that canyon. And that red X, it left half of it filthy dirty. And
flash flood at 8:48 a.m. between 8:46 and 8:48 on 7/8/2020, the riverbed sprouted up for the first time. Water actually came up from the ground, and the Comcast building is just straight rocks, like as in a desert. There's no grass, just rocks, and then water sprouted up. And then on October 21st, going to Camping's World, that's when at 8:48 a.m. the waters were already running, and then they stopped for a few seconds. At 8:48 a.m. I showed my phone, it was 8:47, and then 8:48 it stopped, and then went back on again. That's in the desert. Now at the same time, the Logan Circle, the one end is would represent the dirty side, and then the other end would represent the pure side, because the V shape, the Busch Garden, is unaltered, and it goes down to William Penn, it's unaltered, and then over there is the concealed weapon and the mail-in ballot and the absentee ballot, going from male to female, as the largest altar in the world, because it's 1.9 miles where the William Penn building is to the Philadelphia Art Museum. And the landscape just represents all of that, and that's what Klecks has been showing me. So to connect it all together, it's quite an experience to be able to go through it, knowing in my heart that it's true. And other people know the same, so they understand even more behind the scenes. To see it happening must be quite a feeling as well behind the scenes, because I can feel it in front of the scenes, just by doing the communication. And because that was a time when somebody was up there at the Liberty One at 8:48 a.m. on July 8th, but I didn't record it because I just wasn't. It's like that thing where I need to be more aware of my surroundings, because I'm focusing on the time, just like when I'm at the ShopRite. I'm focusing in on the attacks that I'm getting, the demonic spirits around me. I need to feel that, and then just, all right, and then get that out, and then open my other peripheral. I got to open up my peripheral vision more, even more than what it is, and kind of just let the cops talk and just watch the surroundings, because all the acting that happened when I was in that store, and the masked lady walking by with her mask down, that was purposely done. And then the boss shows you that it was purposely done, because he went and did the same thing, and then he went walking without the man. This has got to stop. So this is the kind of stuff that needs to stop. And so what I was saying was, the other video, the only things I want is to retire in Florida with me and my wife's new home, and my family, I'm able to provide for them. And I only have what did I have, 30 family members? It's not much. Some of you guys have thousands of people that you take care of. So I just want my family taken care of. I want the people taken care of that's on my list. And then to, however, I know you can't just stop it immediately. You got to think realistically about this virus and how the people are closing the stores and keeping you out. And but you also know that have an authority to do so, because you can easily write a rule and send it out like Levine did. I did go to Acme, I did complain and say this is going to change, and then a couple months later they did reword. It's a little better, but it needs to be rewritten even more, clarified that this is all optional and you don't have to do anything at all. Matter of fact, the Secretary of Health mandates that you must not force or enforce the mask rule if someone denies you. Those words, even though it's the same exact words as what's written, you should not. They're giving advice. It's an order or a mandate. But because they need to see it a little bit clearer to interpret it correctly, Governor Wolf and Secretary of Health Rachel Levine mandate that you must not enforce the mask rule. Thou shalt not force the mask rule on anybody in the store. Then that'll start opening up things. But maybe it takes for going in the stores, putting videos up to the DOJ. I mean, who's running the DOJ? Who's running it? So I'm presenting my case to the ones that are actually listening. I can still file it with the actual process that you can't really get through to, but I'm getting through to the highest point anyway. So maybe it had something to do with it by voicing it out loud and showing the proof in the stores, and then presenting your case to the YouTube plant, and they're able to get Wolf to sign it. We're gonna have him. We're gonna ease up a little bit. We're gonna put the word should. That way they can contest it a little bit better and give them some more authority. Because what'll happen is, even if you don't get a badge immediately, they can start setting orders that are minimizing their ability and then maximizing our authority. Because now our authority is paperwork that states from so-and-so, the date, and what they're telling you that you can't do anymore. Or you should not be doing what you've been doing. That gives us more authority. So I want to retire. I want to take care of my family and all my people on my list, my subscribers. Anyone that's experienced this, anybody that's ever given me a problem, anybody that still hates my guts, any enemies I still have. I want all the people that have been watching my channel to be taken care of after they learn the lesson of what patience and faith can do for you if you just hang in there. And stop judging people because they might think that they know the people that actually employs you guys, and you know that. So just, the people that can do that, have that happen for the work that I've been putting in voluntarily for free, and give me some authority so I can start enforcing the law even more. Even if it's better rules coming down, that where now it's known, make it known on the mainstream TV that no longer in Pennsylvania can they enforce the mask rule. Matter of fact, it's a fine penalty if they let them know it'll actually be a charge, because it's truly what it is. Harassing us because we're not wearing a mask. There's no law stating that we have to. This is your store ordinance that you're saying we must, but yet you can't force us out, but you won't allow us to shop there. When the cops get there, the cop will tell you they can't force it, but you can't shop here. So, but what if I want to shop here? Well, then we're going to lock you up. So you're forcing me to leave the store. No, we're not forcing you to leave the store. You just need to put a mask on. Right, so if I don't put a mask on, what will you do again? We're going to lock you up for trespassing. Because I didn't put a mask on, right? Yes, that's correct. Didn't you just say you can't force me to put a mask on? Yes, we did say that. So I don't want to put a mask on, and I'm going to continue to shop and store. No, we're going to lock you up for that. Right, so you're forcing me to wear the mask, or else I can't shop in the store, and I will get locked up, correct? Well, I mean, yeah, you're going to get locked up. Yes, you can't shop in the store, but nobody's forcing you. You know, you can just go, you can hit a brick wall every time with the person that is so brainwashed that but the experience that I'm getting is giving me that strong desire to do the Department of Justice work for them if they don't want to do it. And I'll just start one store at a time and just let it progress the way it does. But I've gotten to this point after 3.5 years, just by talking my way into it, that I'm not changing anything about me. I'm just sharpening up whatever skills I need to have just so I can be the most effective at explaining the laws clearly and getting them to actually think and change their mind. Because this is about changing people's minds. With a little bit of help and a little bit more authority, it makes it easier to change their minds. But that's what putting in the work does. I mean, I'm asking for some authority. I'm not even, if I was the DOJ, if I was Jonathan Klecks, for instance, and I have somebody like myself asking for some more authority as I'm doing the work that his employees are supposed to do, but they're not because they're being paid not to. But this person is doing it voluntarily and wants to continue to do it. And you're all for it as well because we're at the halfway point, we're at the end, we're at the part where covenant is broken, there's a re-evaluation, there's a, you know, you guys have, you're sitting down, you're eating dinner together, you're basically coming to the conclusion of who you're picking, and it's like the juror of 12. There's 12 jurors out there, and when you sit down at dinner together, you have candidates that you want to pick, and then the top candidates, the ones with the highest scores, and not some kind of social score like you're sucking someone's ass and doing what you're told. You're actually doing what the world is telling you not to do. And so I would definitely give that person what the hell ever he wanted. That's all you're asking for? Here, take more. Because that's all I really am asking for. I want to enjoy whatever car it is that I want to pick out. I want to be able to give my son the same thing. I want to give my older brother, I want to give him the brand newest, baddest Lamborghini because he hates Lamborghinis. And he'll say, I'll just, piece of shit Lamborghini, old new piece of shit. And he's such a hater because they're in the rap, they're all in the rap music videos. And he still has an anger problem that he needs to work on with when people bother him with certain music he doesn't like, it pisses him off. So he needs to, I'm trying to help him with these things like everybody else. Very stubborn. But he did say at one point when I was younger, he's going to run over my pigs in my farm because when I'm going to be a fat farmer, he's going to run my chickens over with his Lamborghini. And then now he has his hatred, probably because it's in all the, it's such a played out car in his mind. So it's not just rap songs, but videos, they're in it, and he just thinks they're played out. And he acts like, I said, Bill, when I'm in charge of things on this planet, when I get access to what I want, I'm not asking for much. I'm going to drop the keys to this brand new ass Lamborghini out here, and I'm going to tell you, go ahead, run my chickens over. And, but he's not going to run my chickens over. And then act like you wouldn't take a brand new, out of here. So I want to shop. Obviously, where my house is built, it'll be probably like a 30-car garage shop. I'll make my hoods. Anybody wants to come over and help me, I'll you can fly over. Things will be free for the people that have access to everything. everybody that stuck with me. You just live in a free society. However the system's going to go, I don't know how free it's going to be for every single person on the planet, because they didn't all experience this, but they will experience benefits of the planet being ran more peaceably, and this nonsense just kind of just fading away, and it just goes away. So I just want to be able to take care of people with their lives, so when you get older and wherever you're going to die at, spend the rest of your life, you spend it in an environment where, I mean, you just get a view and you're at peace and you have the health care you need, and if you're suffering, you need to fade away with pain medicine, then that's how you fade away. I don't want anybody to suffer when they die. Just live your life and kind of just fade out. But some people are going to die instantly, and I mean, you don't know how people are going to die, but you just want people to live comfortably now, because so many people have. Think about it. All the people that aren't enforcing the federal laws, and they're actually pushing for the laws to be broken, you're not going to have your job. I've been doing your job for you for free, and you've been getting paid. So the ones that run it, yeah, they're going to put us up in your position, and they're going to put us in new homes. They're going to take care of us because we've been exposing this stuff to them. And on top of that, the best part is, for me, to know that I've seen the change in Jonathan Klecks' heart and in Derek as I've been watching him. I see where their hearts are. I don't know how you can't tell. Everybody can act as much as they want, but the eyes, you can't, you just look at the eyes and the body language. And over time, as much as I've been studying these guys, to think that they would be ignoring me would be hard for me to believe, because I know that once you expose so much and you constantly come at it with so much, they can't ignore it. Because I know that behind the scenes, the things that I've been showing are revealing what they know to be true. So that's my faith, and I don't allow the enemy inside of me to tell me, well, other people, they're not going to believe Rob. They're going to think you're freaking nuts, and you don't want them to think that, do you? That enemy, by fasting for multiple days in a row, you just get rid of them. It's just a spirit that you have to fight it off and shut it up and starve it out. Starve that spirit out. And then you're able to hear your own thoughts clear, and you don't allow stuff to bother you. And then so you don't doubt yourself, and you just keep talking about it. So I keep talking about it with them. These are angels that are here, and there's only a few of them. I know I found them. And I know about the women. I understand what the women are now. I understand why Christ said, don't tell no man. No man knows the day or the hour. Didn't say anything about a woman not knowing. So this is being played out, and Christmas is tomorrow, because today is December 24th. Well, I know it's backwards on this phone, doing it like this, but it's December 24th, 2020, 7:56 p.m. And I've seen the vision of the second 9/11 in Philadelphia, the destruction of it. I've seen it where it would be the Twin Towers, it would be Liberty 1, Liberty 2, and it would be between a 6th hour and a 9th hour darkness, 3 events, 3 buildings, watching it from the tower, the observatory, which is either that Wanamaker building, or the one with the W on it, or going under the Arch of Washington, which also represents the Space Force surgery being done at Klecks, showed me. And to go up to the top of the William Penn, you're able to see the buildings, the towers. If they decided to burn them, you would see it burning. And 17th and JFK, it's at Penn Center Building 8, just like the Building 7 collapsed in New York. Tower 1 and 2 and Tower 7. And then Philadelphia, Liberty 1 and 2. And Penn Center Building 8, Chase Bank, Chase the money. Right there, 17th JFK, where the connection is, when I was there on July 8th at 8:48 a.m., I seen water sprout up from the dry ground desert out of nowhere. And I also seen somebody in white apparel up on the Liberty 1 building, but that wasn't even my focus. I didn't even think of that building at that time. I did in the beginning, but I bounced back and forth. And so the water, instead of expecting a bombing on that day, that's why I was there, at 8:48 a.m., the 17th JFK, instead of the bombing, then the water sprouted up for the first time all year long. Then the second time around, going back to the same place on October 21st, which is the reference to Harold Camping's world, I go back to that Shinati desert thing because it's the desert ground. The water is the streams sprouting up. And I go there at 8:48 a.m. and then this time the water shuts down and then rises back up. As that very day in the morning, Klecks was showing you the 8:48 Barack Obama, be still, know that I am God. And when he showed that, it was from 8:47. And then as he's going, reading over, and then 8:48, being still. And that's why I showed the time, the date, 8:47. And then I hear the shutdown of the streams, being still. And then at 8:48, the streams were still. Klecks showed you the video in the morning on October 21st, 2020 in the morning. As I'm driving to work, I'm listening to it. And I hear Barack Obama and that whole thing. And then that's what happened. The bombing didn't happen, but Obama showed up in Philly on that very day standing out front of the link, which is connecting link after link after link that just keeps going and going. There's nothing, it is not a coincidence whatsoever, because I literally have videotape showing you how the water stayed still. The only thing you can think of is, well, it's because you're part of the inside, Robin. You're one of them. Technically, yeah, but I've created myself to become one of them by hopping into this hellhole of YouTube for the past 3 years and 9 months exactly, coming up in 7 days. 3 years and 9 months. So when things are connected like that, that's how I know I'm hearing Klecks clearly. Klecks knows I'm hearing him clearly. I mean, vice versa. And then those are those little tidbits, those little. He put his fingerprint on it as if. There, I was there, that worked. I put my fingerprint on, I was there at that time, that worked. Going all the way to how just setting up the flags. I'm seeing where this planet is going from the outside because I've been paying attention so much, day after day after day. Talking about it out loud, teaching myself as I'm talking about it, things click together more, and then providing as much evidence as I can that this is a communication thing. This is what talking in tongues truly means. It ain't jibber jabber. What do you think talking in tongues is? It's you hear yourself in your own language. If you're able to hear what I'm saying, you're hearing it. When you're able to hear what Klecks is saying, and Derek and Ben Noon, and when Trump was doing his thing. But it's mainly what Klecks is doing now, because it's the revealing of everything. And then Derek has his way of revealing what he needs to, his strength of revealing what he needs to reveal is what he does, and then what Klecks does, and what Steve does, and then what I'm doing. Whatever the gift is, use it and don't waste it. So at the end of this thing that's finished, we get rewarded for it. But that's only a small amount of people that actually have faith that it's going to happen. You truly don't know. But because I've been saying about this second 9/11 in Philly and Christmas being a gift, well, that's only if nobody really dies. And it's exactly the way that I've seen it happen, which is the holographic images at first, some smoke and mirrors, throwing confetti out the window, making it seem like that way nobody actually gets hurt at all, no matter where you're at. You just hear an explosion and confetti, and then when nobody's looking, people are throwing cups of glass out on the ground, like, watch out! And it gives time to get everybody out of there. And maybe those buildings don't, maybe what it represents from the old, maybe they need to go. But they only need to go if nobody gets hurt doing it. Because what is it really? It's a demolition. Who the hell cares about a building? Unless people are in there and they die. But with the World Trade Center, it was a demolition. It was a planned demolition. But to make it more exciting and to put the outcome justifies the deed, well, it justified the deed back then. This outcome justifies the deed this time around. If I could see it happen, and before it happens, then what I'm telling you is nobody's dying either. So you would clearly believe that. If that thing happened tomorrow, the second 9/11, on my 1,364th day on YouTube since I started, that would be something else. It'd be quite a gift. Quite a gift. Because all you're going to do is rebuild it. You have all the means to rebuild whatever it is you need to rebuild. Whatever building we agree on putting up there. This time it represents the 2-in-1 system, the actual truth of knowing the truth now. And that one is raised up because the old is being destroyed. Titus is destroying the temples because he knows that the new temple, third temple, the real one, is here. And that building gets built to commemorate that peace that happened at that time in the city of Philadelphia, because nobody died. They're professional demolish. They know how to demolition buildings. They know how to blow them up. They know how to create the bombs. They know how to create the images. They control the fire engine, the fire police department, everything. They can make it happen easily. They buy all of that land, like I told you, all the land around the World Trade Center, all the businesses they bought. That way they put their people in so they can all run it, and they can all get contacted to do a certain thing and do this or that, and don't come here on that specific time. That way they can control it and make sure nobody dies. They just make sure that they can instill fear into everybody because they're miracle signs and wonders. Now maybe that didn't happen back then. Maybe everybody really happened where they all died. But it's hard to believe that anybody did. First responders went to the basement, they just left that there. And there's images falling down in the sky, angels falling down, and loud sounds, big booms. But this time around, with it leveling the past plan, and then the new plan is in effect, and the building that's built represents that peace deal. Like a peace treaty, like Penn Treaty Park, peace deal. Then we start to move on with fixing everything that was messed up from what was created out of this beast system, the one with the wounded head. Because now that the system is going to move forward, but the spirit behind the system, it took over. The beast system, the ones that have created it, their minds and hearts have changed Christ-like, so they're the ones that run the system of the beast, and they're also the ones that can put an end to it. But it doesn't just happen overnight. It has to progress. So in order for it to progress, I just need a badge. Just ask for a badge. Freely. I don't need to get paid. This isn't about money. But this is about the hard work I put in. And I do want to retire. And it's time for my family and everybody to know the hard work that I've been putting in for the past 10 years with Harold Camping warning everybody this was going to happen. You don't think he's supposed to be early? Oh, Harold Camping's a false prophet, right? When all this takes place, exactly 10 years later, the Bible said that some of you will be going through tribulation 10 days. And 10, the number 10, it can be 10 years, a day is a year. It can be both, it will be both. It can be 10 years, 10 days. But Harold Camping is the truth, and I had his back this entire time. So, now that they've seen, because Klecks learned a lot from Harold Camping, he knows it. Probably took advantage of the rapture too, May 21st, 2011. I guarantee you that's got to be what it was. That's when you guys got raptured up for that day. It only makes sense using the fear of Harold Camping for you guys to literally go up and then come back down. And then to see me have Harold Camping's back as the second one that continued with the message of God's judgment, because I have always had his back and I just carried it to my platform. So for them to see that, I know they greatly appreciate it. And just sticking up for your rights, sticking up for people. This isn't for myself. This isn't about myself. It's about showing you what actually happens when you go into these stores and showing you what's happened behind the scenes. And you can either take it or leave it. It's just information. Some of it's entertainment. Gives me something to look forward to when I'm able to enforce the federal laws. Because the ones that have been getting paid money, you haven't been doing your job. So I'm willing to come in for free and enforce it. And all you